You're listening to No Hipsters Pod.
Hey everybody, I'm Brenda Bush telling you to come down to Bush Toyota and take a look at our Bush. We're 20 minutes from Atlanta, 20 minutes from the Cracker Barrel, and 20 minutes from that house where all those teenagers disappeared all those years ago today. We're 20 minutes from everywhere. Crack open a cold one and take one of our new Toyota Topangas out for a spin. We'll even let you show up late to pick up your kids from T-Ball in one of our new 2022 Toyota Tony Sopranos. No credit? No problem, as long as you have a doctor's note from your husband. But don't just take my word for it. I'm self-medicating. We're located right next to the abandoned Kmart, across from the Putt Putt Palace that's currently under investigation. One visit to Bush Toyota and you'll be saying, hey everybody, take a look at my Bush.
Episode 47, No Hipsters Pod. It's your boy Ron Say, the founder of NoHipstersAllowed.com. And this week our co-host is my girl Vonnie. Welcome back.
What it do? Thank you for having me.
Of course. Welcome back. And I see you're doing big things with Zoezi, the sports line, sportswear line.
It is doing well. I actually just released my Soul Cycle collection today, and I'm really excited.
Wow. So people can buy it at Soul Cycle?
Yes, you can get it on Soul Cycle's e-commerce website. And I believe they are nationwide.
Look at you. That's amazing. And also you were featured on Vogue sometime over the last couple months.
Featured on Vogue on my birthday, and it was such a surprise because
wow,
it's my birthday, and then I'm in Vogue. It was like a whole full circle moment for me.
Look at you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And honestly, and so as someone who owns two Zoezi pieces, like, you're doing amazing work. That just the quality is amazing. So keep on keeping on,
I will. I appreciate your feedback, and I hope that the next collection I can see you in some more items, and then you can turn that 2 into 4.
Of course. All right, let's get to the topics. So a lot has happened this week, and I guess top of mind for me and for a lot of people is Nicki Minaj and her loony claims about the COVID vaccine. So a couple days on Twitter, basically, in so many words, announcing that she's an anti-vaxxer. I'm sure she thinks that that's not what she was doing, but she just says, oh yeah, I'm hesitant, blah, blah, blah. She reveals that she actually caught COVID recently while she was preparing for the VMAs, and then tries to say that, she tells us that Drake got a breakthrough case like that, absolves her of not getting vaccinated. And what? Then, right. Yeah. It's just a long, a lot of tweets. She mentions Drake getting the vaccine. She says that, she's not sure she wants to get it. And then she says that her cousin in Trinidad, her cousin's friend, to be exact, got the vaccine, and then his balls were swollen, and that his fiance ends up calling her wedding off. And everyone is just like, what?
Come on now, sis, we know that that's an STD. My thing that gets me about people who are anti-vaxxers or hesitant about it, their excuses are always so random. Or people who probably have gotten it, who are still like, you see, I got a headache now. It's because of the vaccine. Or I'm walking backwards. I'm blaming it on the vaccine. It's like, just use your common sense. And I don't know how we got here, to be quite honest. Right. I know this topic is about Nicki Minaj, but it's what she's doing is amplifying these people that I'm mentioning, and it's not going to help us get out of COVID any quicker. Right. We have to work as a human unit, not just for self and what we think or how we feel. Because we're in a pandemic. This is not a small cold. This is things that, like, an actual virus that can kill you. Right. So words mean things, and what she's saying is not helping anybody
at all.
And you were telling me earlier that the governments are after her.
Dr. Fauci, the head of NIH, and probably the foremost epidemiologist in the world, responded to a question about her while he was on CNN.
Pop star Nicki Minaj tweeted yesterday that she's not vaccinated. She's doing her own research. And then she shared an anecdote I found rather unbelievable, to be honest, about alleged side effects that her cousin's friend supposedly experienced in Trinidad. I wouldn't normally even ask you about this, but Nicki Minaj has nearly 180 million followers on Twitter and Instagram combined. She's beloved by her fans. She's a huge talent, obviously. Her tweet was seized upon by vaccine opponents as some sort of evidence. I want you to address what she said, because for anyone out there who has any questions about this, Dr. Fauci, is there any evidence that the Pfizer, the Moderna, or the J&J vaccines cause any reproductive issues in men or women?
The answer to that, Jake, is a resounding no. There's no evidence that it happens, nor is there any mechanistic reason to imagine that it would happen.
And now, just a few hours ago, the health minister of Trinidad and Tobago, which is where Nicki was born, also just put out a statement.
One of the reasons we could not respond yesterday in real time to Miss Minaj is that we had to check and make sure that what she was claiming was either true or false. And unfortunately, we wasted so much time yesterday running down this false claim. It is, as far as we know, at this point in time, there has been no such reported either side effect or adverse event. And what was sad about this is that it wasted our time yesterday trying to track down, because we take all these claims seriously, whether it's on social media or mainstream media.
I mean, Nicki needs to think about what she says. You know?
She does. And it's unfortunate that it's gotten this far. You know, you would think that she would have people around her, but she also doesn't really have. I don't want to talk negatively about Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Everybody has. We all are humans. We're all able to make our own decisions for ourselves. And if she feels like this is how she's protecting herself, fine. Just don't say it to all these other followers who are just blindly following you. You know what I mean?
Like, right. Because the thing is, she has 22 million followers on Twitter, and so even if just 1% of her followers start acting based on the things that she says, that is like over 200,000 people, right? And so that it's really like, it's dangerous. And honestly, my thing about people who are doing like research, quote unquote, is that they're lying for the most part. Anyone who's doing research in September of 2021, after we've had the vaccine for this long, since the top of the year, is a clown, number one, and a liar, and just an anti-vaxxer who's just not brave enough to say it with their chest. Like, you really, like, there's no real reason to not take it. You know what I mean? And they always...
every time I've spoken to someone who is against it or hesitant, their sense just is not so common. I'm just like... Okay, so you went to school, you know, we got tests. I mean, our shots when we were younger, babies.
Right.
Before you can go to school in America, you have to have your shots. There's no different than that. And then my thing is, we're in a pandemic. Don't you want to get out of this thing?
Right.
I'm tired of having to wear my mask, to be quite honest. Like, I'm over it. I'm over COVID. I've lost people to COVID. People close to me have had COVID. I just do not want to have to deal with it anymore. So.
Right. And what kills is that these people always kind of give themselves away when they start like offering random anecdotes, like the one Nicki Minaj shared, like, oh, my cousin's friend in Trinidad. Like, it's always something random, always something that's probably a lie, and that's how you know that they're not really,
researching.
Exactly. They're not. That's because that's really the extent of their research. Some random story that isn't true, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing, it's just. Honestly, everything we know about Nicki Minaj, I mean, based on things that she's done and that she does, we shouldn't be surprised that she is an anti-vaxxer. I mean, you have to remember that, first of all, she dated Meek Mill. So, no, but a more serious note.
God, I can't. I have nothing to say about Meek Mill, but he's not the brightest crayon in the box.
Not at all. But on a more serious note, she's actually married to and has a child with someone who did almost 4 years in prison for attempted rape, and then did another 7 years for first-degree manslaughter, which was actually initially a second-degree murder charge that was downgraded after a plea deal. So, I mean, listen, I'm sure everyone gets to pay.
That's even worse to me. I take jail any day. I'm sorry, he's fine. At least he's trying to stay out of jail.
Right.
Is just a crook. And you know what's even worse? The whole part of him dodging putting his name on the sex offenders list.
Right.
And so he's like just shady. I'm like, Nicki Minaj, like, you're a whole mogul. Like, you're a brand name. You know what I'm saying? Why are you like, I don't, and love can never make me stoop to that level of dating a rapist and like, oh my gosh, just
right.
know.
Right. But the story is that they're actually, I guess, teenage sweethearts. That's what I've read somewhere, and
That
it's I don't know about it.
sweetheart. Do you even remember your teenage sweetheart? Do I?
No,
Exactly.
no.
That's bullshit.
And so it's funny. A lot of people are just, of course, dragging Nicki. And one of the funniest things someone said on Twitter was she used to research why her husband can't go to Chuck E. Cheese. And I've been screaming ever since.
No, not Chuck E. Cheese. Why can't she go to the VMAs?
What?
And that's because it was near the Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm like, yo, these Twitter investigators are ruthless. That's what I
is that a real thing?
They actually mapped it out, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
They mapped it out. They were like, oh, wait, what's around the VMAs that is like kid friendly? And there's a Chuck E. Cheese right there.
Oh my goodness.
People are crazy. And I'm just like, who thinks of that?
Wow. Well,
I can never get spicy with anybody on Twitter. Okay?
Oh yeah. I tell you, honestly, just keep it simple on Twitter. Don't let people look up your whole life.
Nope. I don't even have my picture as my Abby no more because I don't need nobody. I mean, I still post my picture, here and there. If you want to go through my media, it's fine. But I'm just down on just undercover.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be, but now that we're trying to do this whole media thing, I kind of have to be out there. So
of course, yeah,
we out here. But Nicki, it's just the whole thing's unfortunate. And she's now lashing out at the media for covering the things that she said and acting like they're twisting her words, which is just crazy. But
I saw that. I'm like, girl, you said it. We caught you on 4K.
Right.
The piece is right there.
Right there. But
sis, I don't understand. What I've heard about Nicki Minaj is that she's not very welcoming, and I don't know. This is hearsay. It's neither here nor there, but it just goes to say about what kind of person she is. I wish she just gets it together, and tries to have some accountability, and also educate herself on the vaccine so she could, help other people around her and the people who follow her. Those barbs are pretty, Spanish.
Yeah, right. But we'll just keep our fingers crossed for Nicki
and
hope
divorce her raggedy ass husband, but whatever.
Yeah, listen. I mean, even if she got divorced, she has a baby with him now, so they're kind of stuck together in a way. Let's talk about the Verzuz that went down last night between Ja Rule and Fat Joe, and just let me start by saying that I think that was a bit of a mismatch because I just don't know that they are in the same league. I mean, Ja Rule just has way more hits and much bigger hits. And it was obvious, just based on what I saw, Fat Joe just wasn't up to the task, right? And so Ja Rule won, and but it was really entertaining. I thought everyone looked great. All the guest appearances, from Ashanti, of course, he had to sing songs with both guys, and also Remy Ma looked good, and Vita and Lil Mo. It was just really entertaining Verzuz, and I enjoyed it. What do you think?
Well, I have to admit I did not watch the Verzuz.
Okay.
I watched the one before that with the Locks and Dipset, though. That one, if you want to talk about that one, we can. But as far as Ja Rule and Fat Joe, come on now. Everybody knows that Ja Rule is it. You know what I mean? I can name 5 songs from my childhood that it's Ja freaking Rule.
Right.
Not to say that Fat Joe is not it, but I
no, of course we love Fat Joe, but
we do love Fat Joe because even he's still current till this day. I still play some of his songs to his current music, right now. But what I've seen and what people are saying, what the hip hop streets are saying, is that Fat Joe tried to take the Jadakiss approach, and he was playing songs that people don't really know, none of his main hits. Mm-hmm. And of course Ja Rule came out there with his actual top 10 mainstream Billboard records. So it wasn't a fair competition. Who would you say would go against Ja Rule though?
Only because they have a real life feud, 50 Cent. And of course Ja Rule I think would win again, even though 50 Cent probably has the bigger hits. Just that I don't think 50's songs age really well. Anytime I hear anything from 50's first album, actually the first 2 albums, it all sounds so dated and just nothing that I would want to listen to today, which I wouldn't say about Ja Rule's music. All of that stuff aged beautifully. So
Yeah, I think it aged beautifully because I mean, not to take away from the great Curtis album, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I did. 50 had his little reign. Don't get me wrong. You know,
yeah,
bruh. Candy Shop. Anyways,
right,
what I love about Ja Rule's music is it's musical. Like he has melodies, and he
right,
can also sing. He has
yep,
that nice raspy
right.
voice.
And
You know
he's
what I'm
a
saying? And then
hell of a
he's a
songwriter
great
as well.
rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he can actually rap. He's not corny. So
right.
too bad what happened with Irv Gotti and the whole his record label going under, and it just kind of I sort of guess killed his career.
Yeah. Well, actually, 50. I think 50 in many ways kind of killed his career because I think people just allowed 50 to get away with just ridiculing the whole Murder Inc. Entity and like kind of making fun of the way Ja Rule makes music, and then he goes and basically copies that style in the sense that all the singing, Candy Shop and, all like a whole bunch of songs 50 Cent is actually singing on it. So in many ways, he made fun of Ja just only to copy his style. And it's funny, anyone who's listening to the podcast has probably go over this like 4 or 5 times at this point. And that's because I'm still very, very salty about Ja Rule and how his
I know
career.
you are. I know
Yeah.
you love Ja Rule.
Yeah. So
My other girlfriend, she's crazy. Like she had a whole Verzuz party over him, and I think she probably has a cutout poster of this man, child. I don't know. She loves that man. Okay, but
right.
too bad
Yeah.
that he, Fat Joe couldn't really win that. But Ja Rule
Yeah.
deserves to take it home.
Speaking of mismatches, Jermaine Dupri kind of wanted to go head to head with Diddy and actually challenged Diddy on Twitter. And then Diddy responded in a disrespectful way. And he said, and I quote, he goes, "Beloved, you my nigga, but your arm's too short to box with God. You ain't got enough hits. I'll smash you with just Biggie and Mary, but I do have the utmost respect on you as a musical legend. Dre, the only one, can get in the ring with me." Now, first of all, it's laughable, right? Because Jermaine Dupri literally has more hits than Diddy, has more hits than Dre, and actually has more hits than both of them combined. And I'm saying this as someone who has reviewed all of their discographies as producers earlier today. So
Please educate me because that's a real serious statement to make.
It is. No, listen, it is. I'm saying as far as like actual chart hits, neither of them are seeing Jermaine Dupri. Like it's not
okay.
even close.
Name 5 chart hits then. Jermaine Dupri. School
okay,
me.
Well, first of all, "We Belong Together."
Okay,
by Mariah Carey. Okay, "Shake It Off" by Mariah.
Okay, another Mariah Carey.
"Burn" by Usher. "Confessions Part 2." "You Got It Bad." "Nice and Slow." "My Way" by Usher. "You Make Me Wanna." "Escape." "Understanding." "The Brat." "Funkified." Like it's just there's so
but
many.
but like those are hits. Don't get me wrong, but like okay, maybe not against Dre, but I definitely feel like Diddy and Jermaine Dupri. I would see that matchup. I could see that matchup because Diddy. I feel like has his music. His songs are memorable. I don't know.
And don't get me wrong. I actually made this point on Twitter. I feel like maybe Diddy doesn't have as many, but probably has more beloved songs, possibly. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Biggie died, and we now have a certain feeling towards his music because we lost him. Okay, that's fair. But I'm just like, yo, like,
and that's coming from a hip hop connoisseur. I'm not out here gonna just say, oh, because he's dead, like that's because his music's better. Nah, if it's gonna sound good, it sound good.
Right. But I just feel like if you go just discography against discography, I just don't feel like Diddy is even in the ballpark. Just the range. I mean, we're talking like, just even like "Keep On Keeping On" by MC Lyte, like all these like random hits all over the 90s. "Crisscross," "Jump," like
yeah, but but like my thing is the thing that will probably make it harder for him to win or give him a chance to actually have a good fight is the fact that Diddy and Dre have songs that are current to this this year. I mean, not this year, but like at least this decade. What Jermaine Dupri song did he produce in the last 10 years?
Wait, so Diddy has hits that he produced today?
10
Because
years ago, within the last 10 years? Didn't that
okay,
Danity Kane? Am I
okay,
that old?
okay,
I'm
all
not
right.
that
Oh, well,
old.
I get. Well, yeah. Well, Daddy. First of all, Danny Kane is the same time as like Confessions and all like them albums from the mid 2000s. So I definitely think Diddy and Jermaine are as recent as far as like success is concerned. Actually, in fact, or maybe if you want to say, if you want to talk about recency, we could talk about the Dirty Money album from a decade ago. But I don't even think Diddy produced a lot on that album. And also another thing which people had brought up today, and I'm willing to let it go, but there have been rumblings for years that Diddy doesn't actually produce much of what he's been credited for. So I mean,
Yeah, I was also gonna say that like he takes a lot of the executive producer credit because he just funds a lot of the projects.
yeah,
I don't know if he is
and
sonically sitting there pressing buttons like
exactly.
Dr. Dre or even Timbaland could do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I don't think he is either. But listen, if he says he did it, I'm willing to like let him have it. But even with what he's credited for, I don't think he's seen Jermaine Dupri. And I will give him this. I think he has an ear for music. So maybe he's not doing the production, but he probably could hear a hit when he hears it. So
yeah, or he can produce. He can give his feedback. You know,
right,
turn this up, turn that down. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But yeah, we never know. Okay, he's the only person I feel like can go against Jermaine Dupri.
You think so? Okay.
Personally, what other black producer?
I mean, actually,
Timbaland will walk over all over him. So let's not
over Jermaine Dupri.
Yes.
What?
Timbaland?
Okay, so here's my thing. I think there's a fundamental issue as far as like Jermaine Dupri and how he's perceived, and I'm not even sure what it is. I think me personally, I think that it might be because he's really short, and so people just don't really like respect.
Not it.
Or maybe he's not as wealthy as these other people.
No,
so,
that's
like,
not it either.
What?
Let me tell you what it is.
What
is. Okay, out of all of those producers you just named,
Mm-hmm.
whose song are you likely to hear first, and then second?
First, where?
On the radio. Let's say you just landed in New York. Okay, not even New York. That's bad because of course he might be playing mostly Diddy songs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go somewhere neutral. Chicago. Who they playing first on the radio on the mainstream music top 40? They're not playing Jermaine Dupri first.
Actually, here's the thing. I feel like maybe people don't even know what he's responsible for. Like, okay, even I was actually going to talk about this later in the show, but I guess it's worth bringing up now. Ari Lennox's song that she just dropped out, which is amazing, called Pressure. JD produced that, co-wrote and produced that, and so actually he has a current, song on the radio, right? But even as far as like old stuff, I think people don't realize just how much of like how wide his reach is. I mean, so many songs. Okay, like I guess a good example would be "Always Be My Baby" by Mariah Carey, which doesn't sound like a JD production, but he did that, right?
I know he worked on that album Heavy. Him and her are great together.
Yeah, so it's like so many different like people need to like listen.
I'm not discrediting Jermaine Dupri. I'm just saying there always has to be a number two. There cannot always be a number one. It's impossible.
Right.
And
I mean,
if you go if you press the radio in any state, any urban radio station, Jermaine Dupri's music is probably not the first that you'll hear before Dre or what's the other guy, Timbaland, and even Diddy, who may not even be in there really producing, but for the sake of time, I'm just saying, me personally, I love Jermaine Dupri, but he might not be the first. But he's great. Can we agree to disagree on there? Can we just agree to disagree?
Listen, we'll just leave it right there. We'll leave it right there. I disagree, like very, very strongly, but we'll leave it there. And actually, I hope the matchup happens, and I really hope people even just take the time to like read everything that he's done. People really think Diddy is like on this other level, and he just isn't. That's just not what the facts are. But
well, let me ask you this: what did Jermaine Dupri say back when Diddy said that rude shit to him?
Actually, I don't think there's because I've been checking his page and I haven't seen a response. But now that you bring it up, let's check one more. Yeah, there's been no direct response. He did make a tweet like an hour or two after this, said, "Don't nothing get straightened but straighten it," which is a Migos lyric. And so I'm not sure if that was directed at Diddy or not, but there's been no direct response. And meanwhile, I feel like just that whole "your arms are too short" was just completely uncalled for. But
Yeah, that was rude.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. We can talk about this forever. Like, I'm very, very, very bothered by this whole conversation, how people are disrespecting the king that is JD, but we'll move on. Let's talk about the Met Gala, which happened, what was it? 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yeah, the 13th. Yeah, it was 2
Yeah.
days. Yeah, 2 days ago. And it's the first in 2 years because, of course, it didn't happen last year because of the pandemic, and it also didn't happen in May of this year, which is typically happens first Monday of May, and it didn't happen then either. So this is an off-cycle Met Gala, and the theme was American independence. I don't think anyone was on theme, but that's fine. A lot of people look good. I thought Zoe Kravitz looked best, and Haley Steinfeld looked good as well. Normani looked good. Regina King, Mary J. Blige, Sweetie.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige. Sweetie gave me the same thing she wears all the time. I'm sorry.
That's that. Well, I mean, it's good though. I mean,
it's in another color, and it's the same thing.
Wow.
Okay, it's just like regular. I love her body though. She fine as hell.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love what they did with her hair. You know what I'm saying? She can always serve in face and body, but let's give me something else. Another cutout dress is just kind of I don't know. But my favorites were Jeremy Pope. I don't know if you saw Jeremy Pope's.
Wait, hold up. Let me add. My last best dress was Iman.
Oh my gosh, yes. I
But
saw Iman when I was scrolling on my Twitter feed. Vogue was, obviously doing a live streaming, and I saw her and I was like, "Is that Iman?" Because at first I was like, she had that large crown in the side of her face. I was like, first I was like, "Is that Beyonce?" But I couldn't really tell because all I saw was brown skin, blonde hair.
Right.
But obviously it was Iman.
And she's like 68.
She's so gracious and she's so beautiful. And I really, really love how her and the designer both like kind of matched each other, because he also had a crown too. But she stole the show for me personally. Everybody else could have just went home. Everybody else could just stay home. She did the thing. But yeah, Jeremy Pope is my favorite.
Really, I'm looking him up now because you said that, and this was your like. Are you being serious?
Let me tell you why I liked it. But the designer's like description. You are such a hater.
What is this?
It's the extra laugh from me.
Okay, all right, go on. Go ahead.
Okay,
wow.
I liked him because it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something that's not a suit and freaking tie. Like even Lewis Hamilton. I don't know what the veil around his legs were doing, but at least it just wasn't basic Tom Ford suit. I love a nice tuxedo, but it's the Met Gala and you're supposed to be different. And I loved what Jeremy Pope and the designer did there. It was like an ode to, Black slavery. And he talked about how he's a descendant of slavery, and the shoes that Jeremy Pope is wearing is supposed to be how Black people were treated like as cattle. So there's like meaning to like everything that he's wearing. I know it looks different and it's probably not the best, but I love the meaning behind it.
Got it.
Who else looked hot? Megan Fox looked bad to me. I love the red on her. She's always like wearing something dark. So I love the color. And it was just subtle, and I'm not sure who designed her dress, but she looked good to me.
Okay.
Who else? There was another model who just stood there. Alton something. His face is so beautiful. But yeah.
Okay.
That's all I can remember.
Gotcha.
Rihanna could have stayed home. Her face was giving me everything. Her face was never not giving. But
I was about to get to my worst dressed, which I mean, of course, Naomi Osaka, Timothée Chalamet, both of whom were co-chairs, and then of course ASAP Rocky. Rihanna looked crazy, which is unfortunate because she's like considered the queen of the Met Gala, and so people were really waiting for her, and then she showed up in that.
Yeah,
And
but she got a
then
new stylist, so
okay, she used to fire
that's
that
what
stylist.
happens.
And then ASAP Rocky, ASAP Rocky killed me because he had that blanket over him, and then like threw it off like he had this bomb ass outfit under it, and he
Right.
didn't.
You should have seen Rihanna's face. She was probably like, just like that's my man. I'm gonna stick beside him.
Oh yeah, no, she was like cheering him on, like it was hilarious, and yeah,
Yeah, no.
they both failed the assignment.
I
But,
loved Hallie and Chloe's subtle looks. I don't really know.
yeah,
Maybe actually no, Hallie looked better to me. Not sure who the designer was again, but I don't know that it was really on theme either. What was the theme again? American
actually,
Freedom?
well, actually, you know what? It's actually I said American independence earlier, but that's actually because a lot of people have said that, but it's really in America a lexicon of fashion, and so I'm not really sure what that means.
I don't know what that means either, child.
But that was the Met Gala theme. I'm actually looking it up. Alexa of Fashion, 2-part. Yeah, it's a 2-part exploration of fashion in the United States. Man, I don't know, but yeah, that was the theme. Yeah, right. That was the theme, and I think people were as confused as we were because everyone just looked like they were coming to different events. But yeah, like you said, Chloe and Hallie did look good. I think Hallie had the better dress. She's the one that had the pink.
Yes, she did with the fringe.
Yeah, with the rolling on the river look.
Yeah, that was cute. Did you just say?
No. I mean,
yeah, she looked cute, and her fin.
I mean, you get what I mean. Though. You got.
I know what you mean. You're so silly,
right? But
Jennifer Lopez looked like the cowboy, but I just didn't like her shoes because they were silver. I feel like somebody dropped the ball on her shoes, but she looked good.
Okay, and she has like Ben Affleck everywhere with her now, which interesting.
At first, I was against it, but I'm just like, you know what? If I'm 50 and I want to be dibbling and dabbling and I look like that, listen,
hey, why not?
I will have the cameras following me everywhere too. Live your best life, sis.
Of course. But
I can't believe she's in her 50s and she's Jennifer Lopez is a witch.
Yeah, she clearly has a deal with the devil. I mean, there was actually like a blind item many years ago that claims that she actually does like voodoo, but
I was joking when I said that. I have a lot of respect for her. She looks really good. I know she puts in a lot of time to look like that.
Of course, no, I'm not doubting
let me
that.
not spread those rumors, okay?
Yeah,
Do not put a hex on me, Miss Lopez. Please.
Oh no, because I don't doubt that she really does like put in work. I'm just saying that once upon a time there was a blog that did try to start. It probably was false, but yeah.
Oh my god,
that was a thing once upon a time. Let's move on and talk about Chloe's new song and video. Of course, Chloe and Hallie, Chloe's older sister, and she is now going solo. And she put out a song called "Have Mercy," and it was an interesting one. The video is very, very, it's very sexy.
It is. How old is she again?
That's the thing. She's 23. People and I think that's why she goes to these extremes, is that people think of her and her sister as kids, but they're grown women, and I think that's why she's going out. Yeah, and so she's now going out of her way so you guys understand that she's not a baby. Which I mean, and I get it, right?
I'm here for it. The video is sexy though. I had to rewind that thing like, damn girl.
Oh yeah. No, whoa. She looked really good.
I love it because let me tell you why. When I was her age, I was so afraid to be sexy. Like if anyone called me sexy, I would feel some type of way. Because I didn't want to be viewed as just like a sex symbol. So for her to own it just shows like a great deal of confidence and security that she has in herself and in her womanhood. And I applaud it. I'm here for it. She looks amazing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of debate about the video. People saying she did too much. I listen. As long as she's sincere and this is what she really wants to do, and I think that's fine. There are parts of it that made me like, oh, like this. I mean, this seems maybe like forced, for lack of a better term. Like the poom poom pat, I was like, oh wow, like
You don't think she really is like that though? Like, how do you teach somebody to do? You don't teach them. My thing about being sexy and being freaky is like you can't teach freaky. That's like something that's in you. So I feel like sis is just ready to just like really just show her other side and
Right.
explore this part of her. And maybe it is a little raunchy, but
It's interesting.
listen to the lyrics of WAP. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like the WAP visual.
And it's funny, and I hate to say this because someone did make this point when I was talking about this video recently, and she says like, "Oh, like it's believable with Cardi and Megan," but I'm like, why? It's like this is part of the problem, right? Is people seeing her as this innocent person, and that's probably why she feels the need. Because why is it so believable with Cardi and not with her? I mean, she's not that much younger, right? So I don't know. Listen, I'm happy for her either way. I thought her MTV performance was interesting. The VMAs actually happened this past week, and Chloe performed the song live for the first time, and it was, it was interesting. She's definitely like, a graduate of the Beyonce, Academy of Live Performance, and I like what she does. But I think maybe.
What do you mean by it was interesting?
Like they're just like the same way I said, like the video sometimes is like, oh, like okay, like it's just, and I don't want to say force because I don't want to be like those people who are saying that she's forcing it. But there are parts of where it's like, do we have to? Like, did you have like the fake licking of the microphone at the end of the performance? I thought was but
okay. But my thing is, so is it just not believable on her because you've seen her be child actress, Disney star, whatever,
right.
long? Is that maybe it? Because again, you can't teach freaky. I don't feel like somebody can act like a freaky person.
Of course not. And it's funny, and I feel like I'm contradicting myself, right? But listen, I'm either way. I'm happy for her. I think she looks amazing. I don't know if you saw this, and now people have been talking about this, and we probably shouldn't talk about it at all, but unfortunately, people have. At the end of the performance, you could see that, like, it looked like her tampon was sticking out.
First of all, as a woman, for her to have done all of that and be on her period, that's a goddess right there. Like that. That's some queen shit because I can barely go down to the grocery store and it's a flight of stairs down in my apartment when I'm on my period. So she did all of that. And y'all are looking at her tampon string and y'all are paying attention to the wrong thing. It's normal. It's like, what was she supposed to do with it? Maybe she just could have maybe taped it. I don't fucking know, but I'm sorry, it's a curse. But
listen, I'm only bringing it up because
and I just hate when people talk about periods as if it's this disgusting, gross thing. It happens every month. It's just part of our like human nature. It's our bodies, and it's like sneezing. You can't like not sneeze.
Right.
It's like you gotta breathe.
Listen. I saw it. And I'm like, I guess whatever. Like she's human, right? And like you said, this is a part of every woman's life. But it was trending on Twitter, which is the only reason why I'm even bringing it up at all. But yeah.
No, I saw it, and I feel like the most disheartening part about it is when she didn't even acknowledge it. Great is it was another woman who posted it. No, okay. She shouldn't have to. But how like other celebrities like Cardi B, will like. I don't even know how Cardi has the time, to be quite honest. But she used to be going back at all these random people on Twitter. So, but Chloe definitely didn't really acknowledge that because sometimes she does respond to people on there. But the woman who posted the tampon string, I'm like, sis, how you playing for the wrong team now? I mean, like, it's like you should already know. Like, I saw that and I was like, wow, she did all of that and she was on her period. Bruh.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, I've read quite a few tweets about this, and some people say like it wasn't a tampon at all, but it was definitely like I was amazed at the amount of conversation there was about this on Sunday. So,
people always like when other people are not happy or looking like something embarrassing happens. I don't understand why people are like that.
Right. Anyway, we support Chloe in this house, so more power to her. Winners and losers, Vonnie, since you are the guest, I will let you go first.
Losers. Losers, I would say, is the Republican Party for wasting California because it
Yes.
was taxpayers' money. Like it was like over $200 million, and Governor Newsom he won the
Yeah.
recall in like 15 minutes. What a waste of time and money for
Right.
what?
He
So
won
yeah,
with it. He won with a larger margin than he did in 2018, and actually they wasted $276 million in taxpayer money. So
thief, pull him
yeah,
out. You
of
know what I'm
course.
saying? Like for me as a person, I live in California. It was just I was nervous. Don't get me wrong, because I would hate for us to have our abortion rights taken away, or just like a body autonomy. You know what I'm saying? Just our freedom to just be ourselves here. So I'm glad that he won. And yeah, so
Mhm,
they're the losers.
mhm.
Winners, I would have to say the winner is me.
Ah, of
I'm crowning
course.
myself as a winner.
Amen.
I overcame a huge battle. Every entrepreneur knows the feeling of, crossing that like goal list. Like I have a major collaboration out right now. So I would just have to like give a toast to myself, because I don't get a lot of time to sit and be present in my achievements. So I would say I am going to crown myself today and take it in.
I love it. I love it. Of course, and you deserve.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so my losers, my first will be, like you said, California, but more specifically Larry Elder, who's been angling to lie to people that recall election was stolen. But anyways, I think you've covered that already. And then my second loser will be Fat Joe, because he referred to Lil Mo and Vita as dusty bitches during the Verzuz
Yeah?
yesterday.
Me to save you. This is fucking pathetic.
You got all them other dusty bitches back there, John.
Let's go. Hold on.
Let's not go
back.
back.
I didn't see nobody come. Y'all seen somebody come out here with me?
Oh, them
I've
dusty.
been either.
You gotta go to the crack house to find them bitches.
Hold on, but let me tell you something, Crack. I heard you say something about I ain't had a hit, or
Please
I ain't
don't
made no
bring them
records
bitches out.
in 10 records or
John,
whatever.
I love that song, baby.
Shit like that.
You gotta feed these girls something, man.
All night, nigga.
You gotta feed these girls some
All
food,
night,
John.
nigga.
God damn, that's what I mean. My bitches is rich, man.
You gonna get these
Play some real
motherfucking hits
Dawn
all
shit.
It was just like a weird, wildly inappropriate statement, wildly insulting statement, and just a weird thing to say by someone who knew that he was losing the whole battle. So yes, Fat Joe's losing, and then he later brings out Birkin bags for Ashanti and Remy Ma. That's what we're there for. Yeah, it was definitely
First of all, dusty bitch. I'm just still stuck on that. Like he actually said that.
he
In this
definitely
2000 and whatever year we're
20
in
what in
right
the
now.
year of our Lord 2021. He said that.
Jesus send the flood. Oh my god!
Right now, send the meteor right now. But
Ugh.
yeah, that happened. So yes, unfortunately, Fat Joe gets the loser badge. And then my last loser, of course, with no surprise, would be Nicki Minaj for just embarrassing herself, embarrassing her fans, spreading misinformation,
Definitely a loser.
just being just basic on the internet. And it's just crazy that someone who's as wealthy as she is, well traveled, has access, she could literally get she could get Dr. Fauci to call her personally if she wanted to, because she's that famous and that powerful that if she wanted the foremost epidemiologist in the world to speak to her personally about the vaccine and why it is good and safe and necessary, she could do that. But instead, she chose to spread crazy, ridiculous lies on the internet, and basically is risking people's lives by talking about a random cousin's friend in Trinidad who supposedly has got swollen balls from the vaccine. The whole thing is just it's a mess, and
it's a mess.
Yeah, I hope she is a bit more thoughtful when she speaks about the vaccine in public. And then my winner, I have to say, my winner would be Ari Lennox, because that song I didn't want to mention it earlier, but I did. But that song, Pressure, is the best thing she's ever done, and
I love Ari,
and I really hope she gets to enjoy the kind of success that she deserves. The song is amazing. The video is amazing. It's literally the best thing she has ever done. And so Ari Lennox is my first winner. And my second winner, I will say, is Drake, because he just broke a whole bunch of records this week.
He had like 6 number one. I mean, like 6 top whatever on the Billboard charts, right?
Actually, 9 songs in the top 10, which is a first. The first time anyone has occupied 9 spots in the top 10 at the same time. So that's a record. And then he also he tied the Beatles, because so in April of 1964, the Beatles had the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 song at the same time, which Drake also has right now. And then he extends his record of top 10 hits to 54, which is by far more than anyone else. The runner-up is Madonna, who has 38 top 10s. He now has a 5th debut at number 1, tying with Ariana Grande. He has like just the most debuts in the top 10 ever, 39. Like, he's just a whole bunch of records. I think Drake is a just beast and a commercial powerhouse. And I think it's clear that he wins the battle against Kanye West. Lonnie, as always, this was a blast, and
I love it.
I hope you come back. And before we leave, let the people know where they can find you on social media, and also where they can find Zoezi in stores.
Yes, I actually will be back soon. And you can find Zoezi online, zoezisport.com. That's ZOEZI sport.com. And you can get our new collection on SoulCycle's website, soulcycle.com. And I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Zoezi Sport. And my personal is I am Vonnie B, VONNEY, the letter B.
Love it, love it, love it. Episode 47, No Hipsters Pod. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.